Hey everybody, welcome to vlog number 3. I think it's number 3. I did 2 at Galley and I don't think I've done anything else, so 3. Welcome to 3. I'm at home, which means there are going to be critters. I have 2 cats and my boyfriend has a dog, so chances are at some point we will hear or see from them. See them. There's Ronnie over there. I'm not used to the webcam thing because it's like flipped, and so I think that one hand is going to go one way and it doesn't. I'm going to learn eventually how all this works. So, I thought today I would talk about Gallifrey One and talk about comics. So, Gallifrey One was really great this year. I didn't really hang out with anybody. I've kind of become a hermit at conventions, which sounds like a very strange place to become a hermit, but Hermit's Anonymous and whatnot. So, on Friday, when I got my Eagle Moss figures, which I nerded out over in vlog 2, I was on the hunt for the first Doctor's Enemies set, which I've been looking for a while now. Early Doctor Who, like 60s Doctor Who is my favorite era, so I just kind of hoard 60s Doctor Who stuff. I can't help it. The first Doctor's Enemies set is super cool. I saw it first at Galley like 2 years ago, and then haven't been able to find it anywhere at a reasonable price. So there's a dealer that pretty much every year I buy something from him, and I asked him if he had the first Doctor set, and he was like, no, I didn't bring any with me, but I could bring them tomorrow. And I was like, dude, if you do that, you're going to get my money. So then when I finally got back into the dealer's room on Sunday, he brought them. So I spent money and got toys. So I have to show them to you. It's going to look a little funny. So I'm going to just show it to you, and then we can go from there. So first Enemies Doctor set. Yes, it's in the clear plastic because I couldn't fit it into my suitcase any other way, and he's gonna be back there being crazy, so hopefully it's not too distracting. So, Robo-Man from Dalek Invasion of Earth 2150, Dalek from the Daleks Master Plan, and my favorite part, which is the original Cybermen from 10th Planet. Are they just cool? It's just cool. I don't know how else to describe it. And it's not even me like putting on the lens of watching TV from the 60s and being like, oh, Cybermen. Just the concept of the Cybermen is really interesting. And part of why I like the original is because it still looks like it's person mixed with machinery, which is kind of the idea of the Cybermen to begin with, right? They are flesh with metal or aluminum, depending on the aesthetic. But I love that they still look humanoid and that they look like they've been adding to themselves to kind of improve themselves. I just like that it's a mask and you really get a sense that there's like a human underneath. I mean, I know it can seem kind of corny and you can kind of write off the outfits on the show. The cat is really distracting me. Whatever. But the Cybermen are awesome because that's what they are. They're a person in a suit. They are a mix of metal and flesh, and I feel that's no more apparent than it would be in 10th Planet. 10th Planet and like Moonbase and Cybermen, Tomb of the Cybermen are, for me, the coolest. Actually, I really like all of them with the exception probably of the Cybus ones from the new series. I'm not going to harp on the new series today. I'm going to talk about awesome classic Doctor Who stuff. I like the coloring of the Dalek. I like the kind of teal Dalek bumps. I just think visually it's really interesting, and the detail of the teal here. And the flame shooter's kind of corny, but whatever. I think I'm gonna leave it in the box. I still have the box. I didn't like throw it out. I just had to take everything apart and compress it so that it would fit in my suitcase. The box is pretty cool. It's got that kind of angular 70s time tunnel, like Tom Baker time tunnel kind of look to it, which I like. The box is kind of neat. It has episode overviews, which I like quite a bit. Kind of gives you an idea of the story and where they came from. Dalek with flame weapon is what the Dalek is called. Okay. Here's the inside that I like quite a bit too. It's got that same kind of square time tunnel look to it. I can take that. So yeah, I was pretty good at Galley. I only got 3 Eagle Moss figures, and the first enemy set. And yeah, it's definitely going to go, I think it's going to go back in the box. I'm a little torn on how to display all my Doctor Who stuff at the moment. We're moving next month, so stuff I'm kind of leaving in boxes until we move and I can figure it out. But if I figure out something cool and kind of classy and nice to do to display the Eagle Moss, I will let you guys know. And there will be pictures, because that's what you do on the internet. You share your stuff and pictures and things. So, that was Galley. The panel with Dominic Glynn was really, really awesome. I put it up as an episode of my podcast, which is called Doctor Who Time Signatures. It went up yesterday, and I think it's on iTunes now, so you can go check it out. The whole panel's there. I recorded it on my iPhone, so it doesn't sound all that good, but it's definitely, you get the full sense of what we were talking about. It was a really cool discussion, especially if you don't think about the music all that much. It's cool to hear about just the process and like, where does the music come in when they're planning an episode? Like, I'm talking like production side, which is more of the stuff that I'm interested in. He's getting comfortable. I was on a panel on Sunday as well with Steve Roberts and Rob Sherman, and it was great. And Kyle from Nerdist. And we talked about early series and kind of expectation, and, you know, they know way more. They're way more encyclopedic about the show than I was, so I talked about stuff that I knew, which was, you know, fan recordings of the audio and things like that. And I didn't get an audio recording, funny enough, of that panel. So hopefully it lives on in someone's memory, and maybe there are pictures somewhere. I don't know, I haven't really seen any Galley pictures online yet. So that was Galley. I left Sunday because I have a real person job now, which was kind of a bummer. But maybe next year I can be there a bit longer, which would be nice. So, comics. I never really thought of the idea of doing like a comic video thing until Charlie admitted to me that most of his mornings when he's sitting at the computer kind of waking up is him watching comic book review videos on YouTube, which is kind of funny. And really cool. There's a really burgeoning community of comic book fans and collectors on YouTube. Not that I'm anything like that. I really, pretty much everything I get is new stuff. I collect Adventure Time, regular show. I have most of the Adventure Time side stories. I might be getting Samurai Jack. I'm not sure. I picked up the first issue just to check it out. I've got the first 6 issues of Jonathan Hickman's God is Dead run, which I'm pretty excited to dig into. I'm one of those people that I like to get like 4 or 5 issues of something and then sit down and read them all together to get a sense of the story progression, to figure out if I'm really going to be like invested in it or not. I'm getting the Batman the Animated Series comic, the first volume, which is really cool. I have most of the first volume. That issue with Harley Quinn is, I don't know if I'm ever going to get that because it's so expensive. It's really cool. It's cool that Harley Quinn's first appearance in the comics. But of course everyone wants it, so we'll see. Maybe someday. The comics of interest for me right now. So not too long ago, I kind of decided that I wanted to actually have a comic series that I could hunt for, like to actually feel like I'm doing the collector, like digging through racks to find stuff kind of thing, which with the new issues you don't really do as much of. The exception being the first like 7 issues of Adventure Time, which are pretty hard to find now, in the first pressing at least. But I decided, probably in a lack of better judgment, to get Wonder Woman Volume 1 and see how much of it I can get in my lifetime, which is probably not going to be that much because everybody wants Wonder Woman because she's awesome. And she's been around forever. So Volume 1 started in like the 30s or whatever. I should probably know the exact date. If I did my research, I would. Volume 1 goes up through, I believe, the Crisis of Infinite Earths, so like the 80s. And 80s comics are just kind of crap. That's not true. They just don't look as interesting to me. I like the kind of Silver Age and Golden Age stuff a bit better. So most of the Wonder Woman issues that I have at this point are early 200s. Mostly because we go to the half-price books on Anderson Mill in Austin, and they always have some good stuff there. I don't know where, like, I guess comic collectors, like, spouses, like, just drop their stuff up there or something, I'm not sure. But they had a pretty decent line of, God, still up there, of Wonder Woman issues, and I probably would have gotten more if they were in better shape. If I'm going to spend over $10 for an issue, I want it to be nice. But anyway, so yeah, I've got some early 200s, and the boyfriend got me a few for Christmas, which is awesome, so it's a little bit of a burgeoning collection. The most recent issue I picked up I actually got from Austin Books and Comics, which is issue 201. And part of the reason why I liked it so much is because it has Catwoman on the cover. Ta-da! Why are Diana and Catwoman locked in a death duel? And what is the Fist of Flame? This is an interesting time for Wonder Woman. At this time, the early 200s, I think it happened in the 190s. She loses her powers and she's kind of a normal person that's still super fierce and awesome because she's Wonder Woman. So the line at this point is Diana Prince Wonder Woman because she's Diana Prince and she's like an investigator, like a private detective kind of person. Again, I'm waiting until I get a few more in a row before I sit and read it, so I probably sound like an idiot. But it is pretty. Pretty comic. I flipped through some of it. They're trying to investigate this Fist of Flame, and she ends up, it's kind of Indiana Jones style. She ends up like in this cave trying to find some artifacts, and then Catwoman is there too, burglaring, because that's what Catwoman does, and then they fight. And that's all I'm going to say. I'll read it a bit more for next time. I just wanted to show you. Also, it's in a really nice Mylar bag, so super shiny and pretty. I like pretty things. The other thing that I've been interested in lately, and if you follow me on Tumblr, you probably know that I was nerding out about this when they announced it, which is Ms. Marvel #1. I love Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is such an awesome, awesome, awesome female hero. She is strong, she is fierce, she's super intelligent, she's very mindful, she's a great leader. She was Ms. Marvel for a long time and then decided to be Captain Marvel because why not? Captain Marvel died in the 80s anyway, so there you go. When she became Captain Marvel, she kind of like updated her look, and she has this really striking kind of mohawkish hair and a bodysuit that's just super stylized and very cool, which kind of left open the possibility of having a Ms. Marvel again. So Captain Marvel and then Squeaking Cats. So Ms. Marvel in this new run that just started this month in February is Pakistani, which is really interesting. There really aren't any Muslim heroes in the Marvel or like US comic circuit. Although it'll be interesting to see where this goes because I don't want to spoil it too much. It's been out for a few weeks. When she's kind of granted her power in this haze of whatever fog it was that took over the party that she went to, she ends up being white, blonde, Caucasian hero person. She looks just like Ms. Marvel before Ms. Marvel became Captain Marvel. I think that was just kind of a moment. I don't think they're going to stick with it. I'm sure it's her hallucinating or they're going to write it off somehow. Because even in the preview for the next issue, you see her kind of in a combo outfit. It looks like she's wearing a skirt, but she has the long scarf, but it's around her neck, and it looks like her hair is the right length. So I'm guessing she's going to look more like this Ms. Marvel than old Ms. Marvel. We'll see. Hopefully the religious tones aren't going to be all tongue-in-cheek, which I got a little impression of it being tongue-in-cheek when I read it. We'll see if it sticks that way or not. But I'll stick with it for 4 or 5 issues and see what happens and see if I'm really invested, and I'll let you guys know how it is along the way. I think the art is really pretty. It's kind of a soft line, realistic drawing. It's a little on the cartoony side, but it's not like hard black lines, which works great when you're Jack Kirby and your art is just crazy awesome and you have a great sense of perspective. I have some issue with it in contemporary art, especially American contemporary art. If the lines are too hard, I find it kind of jarring and kind of difficult to look at. I don't know how to explain it well, but I think the art is really pretty and the coloring is really nice, and it's got some stylization to it. It's stylized, which makes it a little more compelling. For next time, I'll have sat and read through God is Dead issues 1 through 6. I really wanted for that one, especially since it's Hickman, to have a few issues in a row that I can sit and read before I really make a judgment call. If his kind of takeover of the Avengers line is any indication, it really took a few issues for you to really get a sense of what was happening. And so I really wanted to sit down with a chunk of them and read it all together, so I knew what was happening. So that's probably going to be next time, is talking about God is Dead. There isn't really a whole lot else. I'm getting Adventure Time Flipside, and I've been getting regular show and regular show skips, and I'm still on the lookout for Wonder Woman. So there's comic stuff. It's probably gone on long enough, and I'm going to be really impressed if anybody watches through the end. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm sure as I do more of these, they'll be a little more structured, but I'm sure they'll talk about a wide range of stuff, because I like Doctor Who and science fiction and comics and sports and tattoos and knitting and lots of things. So it could go just about anywhere. But thanks for sticking with me. I don't know if it'll be 16, 17 minutes every time, but who knows? Have a good week, have a good weekend, and I will see you guys next time.